All right, guys, hello. Welcome to In the Pink Team Call. Super excited that you're here tonight. It's Tuesday. We're always here, 9 o'clock Tuesday Eastern time to get together. This is the way that we meet, and I think it's wonderful. It builds unity, community. We learn and encourage one another. Those of you guys that might not know me, you probably do, but if you don't, I'm Dawn Andrews. Love my team and the Pink Team. Emerald Ambassador, been doing Plexus for a little over 3 years now, so I've got crazy, awesome health testimony and business testimony that I will save for another day. So this is our weekly team call, and in a few minutes I'm going to be turning it over to Lisa Wynkoop and Cindy Roher, who are going to do a great job tonight. I'm super excited to learn from them. Before I do that, I want to, kind of tell you guys how March went. We are now in our first week of April, so we've kicked off a new month. But let's do a little review of March to kind of see, where we were, how we did, and then we can set some goals and move forward into April. This team consists of about 1,600 ambassadors. Of course, not all 1,600 of those people are actively working the business. I wish, right? That would be wonderful. But out of 1,600 people across the board over, again, right over 3 years the team's been growing, our volume in March was $121,376. So $121,376. So that was awesome. Anytime we're over 100,000, that's a great PV. I love seeing that. That means that's a lot of product. That's a lot of people's lives getting changed. So great job, everybody, on an awesome PV. Our team as a whole added approximately 45 new team members. It's hard for me to check customer upgrades. So I look at brand new ambassadors, and then I make sort of an average on what we generally do for customer upgrades. So I'm looking at like 45 or 50 brand new team members. So that was a good solid month. We want to make sure those new team members feel very supported and encouraged and plugged in, and we do that through our team page, and we do that through sort of our ambassador training page that's on the Pink Team page. It's always pinned at the top. So if you added a new ambassador in March, make sure you give them access to that resource. It's a really wonderful resource. Of course, in addition, if you added somebody in March, you want to always give them a welcome email, a welcome phone call. Make sure they're plugged into maybe your team page, your upline's team page, be in the Pink Team page. They know about the wonderful contests and the community support. And make sure in the first 30 days that you're really spending a lot of time with that new person, getting to know them, getting to know their goals, making sure that the products work right. It's important in that first 30 days that we're really spending time with someone so they have a great experience from the beginning. Even somebody that doesn't necessarily want to necessarily work the business, maybe they just joined for wholesale, that's great and fine, but we want them to have a great experience so their mind and their eyes are open to sharing, because we have a great thing. We want everybody to be comfortable sharing and have the confidence to do that. So that's our job as sponsors, to really help walk them. And so I really say 30 days. Think about, you have like a baby, and then after 30 days, you can kind of kick them out of the nest a little bit. But and I'll do a really good new ambassador training this month. I haven't put it on the calendar yet, but I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. All right, so our top 5, I want to tell you guys who our top 5 personal volumes were for the month of March. Really awesome PVs, you guys. Lisa Wynkoop came in at as number 1 and totally blew us away. $2,984, y'all. Seriously, almost $3,000 PV. That's probably one of the top in the company. I don't know. I didn't see the stats, but that's really awesome. Amy Umflet is Silver Ambassador, had $1,900.75. So again, almost a $2,000. That's incredible, Amy. And Amy hasn't been an ambassador that long, but Amy is highly focused. She's always showing up at training. She's always showing up on team calls. She's messaging me all the time, like what to do, and I love that. I'm going to tell you that right now. When I get messages from hungry ambassadors who want to learn and want to know more, I get so excited for them. And even though you guys, I don't want you guys to think, oh my gosh, she's busy, she has a million things going on, I can't ever message her. Please do, because when you do that and you're reaching out, that shows me that you want it, and that helps me determine who I want to, really be helping and spending time with. So Amy's done a great job of asking really great questions. Beth Landfair was $1,838. Awesome job, Beth. Joanna McGuire, a senior gold ambassador. She was my 4th ambassador ever to join my team. The only one in my originals that's still around, I will tell you. So Joanna McGuire was $1,392. So good job, Joanna. This many, like 3 years later, you're still rocking out the PV. And the last one was Catherine Bodecker. I hope I said that right. So that's a newbie on the scene, you guys. So I'm so excited to see a brand new person on the top 5 list at $1,371.95. Okay, so that is so great. Yay. Okay, so real quick, wanted to just congratulate a few people who had events. We love doing, we are not a party model. We don't go out and pack up and do home parties. One of the things I love about Plex is we don't do that. But we do like to do events because it's really good. This is a relationship business, and we want to get in front of people. We want to be sharing Plexus. We want to be developing those relationships, and we do that by getting out from behind the computer and having events. Okay, with that being said, I want to say good job, Dodie McGuire, who has consistently done opportunity events at the Why Not Pizza in Virginia Beach. Anita Santiago also, her team has consistently been doing opportunity events. So good job, you guys. Carrie's team, Carrie May, who is a Ruby ambassador on our team, her team just had a big weekend retreat, which I love that. So if you are building a team leader, that's something I would really think about doing because those retreats are so fun. They went up to the mountains of Virginia for a night and just had a really awesome retreat. Sam Godwin has been doing the 7-day challenges, so those are continuing. We have another 7-day challenge coming up April 24th. We talked about that last week on the team call. So make sure that you're utilizing that team challenge because she does a great job. Or it's not a team challenge, it's a 7-day challenge where you sell like a 7-day pack of Slim. You add your person to a Facebook page. We do it within a week's period, and so they get a lot of support and interaction. So if I missed anybody that did something awesome, let me know because I want to make sure I recognize you. Also each month, and I don't always do this every month, but if somebody on our team really, it's really obvious that somebody really came out of their shell. That I call this my butterfly award. Somebody that I noticed was really made some major gains, maybe really got out of their comfort zone, really took their business to the next level. It doesn't always mean it's the person with the top PV or the top recruiter. But the butterfly award this month was given to Cindy Roher, which is she's being featured tonight on our call because, and I want to tell you some things that I kind of look for with that butterfly award. She showed up to every event, every training that I had, she was there. Every opportunity event that she could get to, she was there. She made it on the top 20 PV list, and she's been an ambassador for, I think, less than 3 months, but Lisa will tell us. She added 2 brand new ambassadors, so she's got 1 more to silver. And she also did a launch event, and I think that's so huge. If you're just getting started, or even if you've been doing it a while, do an event. That is a huge thing, and I know that that's scary. But Cindy did it. She did something that we kind of launched the Health and Happiness Tour. I wanted you guys to think about events that you could do that really made sense for you in your life, that would be something that you would think was really fun and that your friends would think were fun. So it didn't need to be stuffy. It didn't need to be in a restaurant if you didn't want it to be. It didn't need to be in a hotel and, you know, big and but I wanted you to do something like start thinking of things that you could do that really fit your lifestyle. And so Cindy had a barn party and a campfire, right? A bonfire, which she's going to tell us about. And because she lives on a farm out in Suffolk. So how cool was that? That she invited everybody to her house and did something that really made sense for her and her friends. So she's going to tell us more about that. So I want you, and I hope that maybe through her sharing, maybe some of you guys will get some really fun ideas and some creative ideas about, hey, I could do a such and such because I love doing that. We want people to see that we love Plexus, that we're having fun, that this business is not work. We work hard, yes, we work hard, but we have fun doing it. And so that's what we really want to convey and communicate through our events to our audience. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I want to explain real quick the April contest that I launched yesterday, and then I'm going to be quiet, I promise. Just kicked off what I think is going to be a really fun contest, but it's a little complicated, so I want to make sure you guys understand it, calling it the mystery contest. All right, so throughout the month, so you're not going to have to wait all month to see who wins. Okay, we're going to have different prizes unlocked when our team reaches new ambassador goals. Okay, so the first one, super easy, you guys. As soon as we add 10 new ambassadors to the In the Pink team, and unlocks the first prize. You guys don't know what the prize is going to be yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to have a $25 value. It could be $25 cash. Could be a gift card. It could be some kind of piece of merchandise worth $25. All right, so that's gonna be the fun of it. So we're gonna unlock the first prize. So all 10 people that added a new ambassador will be put into a drawing. One person will win the $25 prize. The sponsor that wins will also get to choose one free product that I will give them that you can give to their new ambassador. Okay, because I think it's really great when someone's first getting started to maybe get to try a product that they didn't maybe get in their welcome pack, or maybe to get something that they can give samples. Okay, so you're gonna get to give a gift then to your new ambassador, so you both win. All right, but here's the stipulation. First of all, they have to buy a welcome pack. All right, and the second of all, they have to turn their convenience order on, and I can check that through the back office by seeing when I click their name and I look at their little profile comes up. If that little button is red, that means they do not have a backup convenience order on. That button needs to show up green. So we need to have those convenience orders on. If you're not sure what that means, or you're not sure how to explain that convenience order to your new person so it really makes sense, please get with me or get with your sponsor, because we can help you word that so you understand what it means. But it's very important. It used to be called the backup. But the convenience order creates stability in our business. And it also helps that person be consistent. What we don't want to do is sign somebody up, they get their products, and then the next month they don't have anything. They don't order anything. Nothing gets shipped to them, and then they go a week or they go 2 weeks without getting their Plexus products. You go a week or 2 weeks not being consistent, especially after the first 30 days, and you're not going to have that great of results. Consistency is absolutely key. So for people to be successful, they need to get their products, and the way that they get those products is having that convenience order turn on. All right, and we will, like I said, we will explain conditional and unconditional if you don't understand that, but it's very important. So I want to make sure that you guys do that. So I will tell you, we've already added 4 people on our team, so we could be only needing 6. But when I checked, all 4 people did not have their convenience order on. Okay, so we got to rewind. So that means none of those 4 are qualified right now. So I need you. I'm going to follow up with everybody so you understand. But we got to make sure that that's on. Okay. So anyway, so we'll unlock when we get to 10 the first prize. When we get to 25 new ambassadors that are qualified with their convenience orders on, it'll unlock the next prize, which will be worth $50, and then so on down the line. When we hit 40 ambassadors, we'll unlock the next one, which I think is worth $75. And the cool thing is, if you're in the first 10, like if you add an ambassador early in the month, your name stays in the drawing throughout the month. So you get, when we hit 10, you get a chance. When we hit 25, you get another chance. When you hit 40, you get another chance. So the earlier you're in the drawing, the better chances you have to win. So have fun with that, you guys. Please have fun with that. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you're thinking, I'm just not motivated by contests just aren't my thing. Okay, I get it. Not everybody's in a contest. But what I will tell you is when you participate in a contest, especially if you have ambassadors on your team, you're showing your ambassadors that you're engaged. And when you win, and if you win, it shows that you're being successful. Okay, it shows that, and I'm gonna like let everybody know who's in the contest, and you're getting that recognition. And maybe you don't even care about the recognition for yourself, but you want your team to see you as someone that's really working her business or working his business, and that you're a leader and that you're doing your job. All right, so even if it doesn't matter to you personally, think of it from a leadership standpoint, that it is a good thing for your people to see you as a leader. I'm sure that Lisa's team, every time they see her at the top of the list with 3,000 PV, they're like, Oh my gosh, I feel so lucky to be on her team. Obviously, she knows what she's doing. Lisa doesn't care about being at the top because I know her, okay? She cares about helping people. She loves people. She doesn't care, but I'm going to keep recognizing her because I want her team to know that she's awesome and they're on a good team and that they need to be listening to her and following her because she obviously knows what she's doing. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to throw that out there for my people that say, I don't want to do a contest. All right. So just play the game. It's fun. All right. Yes, and that's all I wanted to say about that. And so as far as April events, I need to know if you've got an event planned. I want to make sure we get it on the calendar. I'm going to be going to Florida for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be doing some opportunity events down in Florida. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot around here in Virginia. So I'm going to throw the ball into y'all's court that are here to plan some cool stuff because we want to make sure we have opportunities for the team to get together and to do some cool stuff. Okay? And that's all I have. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Lisa to take it from here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Cindy. I don't want to say too much because I think I don't want to steal her thunder because she's going to talk about what she's done so far. But what I will say is that I met Cindy years ago. I don't even know, maybe 10 plus more years ago. And I've known Cindy, yeah, probably 15. Cindy and her husband and her children and her dad for years and years and years. And they're just amazing, amazing people. And I guess it was about 2 or so months ago, I made the post that y'all have probably seen about starting a Rockstar team. And it was the first time I've ever kind of branched out to just do the business side of this. And Cindy was one of the first people who sent me a private message and said, I'm interested, tell me more. And I'm not kidding, she was interested. I mean, this woman came on board. She's done everything I've asked of her. I told her it was going to be tough. She buckled up and she took over, and it's just been an amazing journey to watch. And she truly has done amazing things. I mean, she's had the top PV on my team this month and was, I think, second last month. She has 2 new ambassadors. She's got multiple customers. She's done 3-way chats with me. I mean, she's working the business the smart way. She's duplicating what those ahead of us who have done that has been very successful, who has been very successful. So we asked Cindy to talk just a little bit tonight about what she's done to show you like what a newbie does that creates success. So I'm going to let her take it over, and then we'll go a little bit deeper with a topic that I have when Cindy's finished. So Cindy, it's all about you, honey. You're just going to need to unmute yourself. Can you get that in the bottom? Okay. You're still muted, honey.
Is that better? Okay. A little bit of a backstory. I don't have much of a story yet because I started taking the product when I became an ambassador. So I'm still in the beginning. Lisa had been planting seeds for a very long time. So I would say that that is something really important to think about. I was slightly resistant, or she'd probably say very resistant, because it was probably took me at least a year, maybe, or more. And I'm a type 1 diabetic, and you're constantly bombarded with cures for diabetes, and they're aimed towards type 2 diabetics. I shared it with you because type 1s walk around with chips on their shoulders, because of all the misinformation. So that seed been sprouting for some time. My carriage business, I have a horse-drawn carriage business for the last 30 years, has been on a downtrend because of the economy. So I was looking for employment. And what Lisa didn't know is I'd been putting in applications, probably 75 or 100 employment applications, and getting nothing back. And I was like, she just hit that Rockstar team, starting a team at the right time. And it was the first time. I didn't know that was the first time she had done it. So it just was, the timing was right for me. I've been out of the employment. I've been out of a real job for 19 or 20 years raising my kids. So it's hard to get back into. I was a computer programmer for many years before that. So this was all new to me. I love people. I love helping people. And so this all kind of started making sense for me. ultimately, I started Plexus to hope improve me my blood pressure and cholesterol numbers. So I'm still waiting. It has improved my blood pressure, but waiting on the numbers for the next. So with that, some of the things I've done that I think it really helped. I actually saw things take off like a rocket when I had a professional headshot done. And I really had never really thought about it much, but I never really liked my picture on Facebook, and I never liked the way the picture turned out. So I went to a friend of mine that's in the photography business, and I asked her, and it's very reasonable. She's local in the area, and for $75, it was well worth it. And so that was something that was big for me. Anybody that's up in the Baltimore area, she's going to be up there the 23rd of this month, and she gets a little bit more because she's traveling up there. I have attended as many meetings as I possibly could. And there's some meetings that I could not, on Zoom meetings where I knew I was going to be taking my daughter to dance, or for whatever reason was traveling in the car. And so I just listened in on my phone. And I just muted it and listened. And I know I couldn't give it 100%, but I can go back and listen to the recording. So that's been a great asset for me learning this business, just to listen while I drive. And sometimes I've had to listen like that at home also when I'm having something happens. You know how it goes. Life happens sometimes, and you have to put out the fires that are jumping up. I've adapted to 5-3-1 because my life is very chaotic, and there's some days I just cannot get it done. And so then there might be a week that I got 2 or 3 days I can't get it done, but I'll go and double it, triple it, or whatever I've got to do to make up for it. One day I'll just sit down at the computer and do it. The 3-way chats, that is, whether it's in person or on Facebook or on the phone, I've had it in person. When we did one of those, I don't think my Aunt Connie would have joined up as an ambassador if I hadn't taken her to that meeting at the hotel the night before. And I had third-party validation there. I had another ambassador there talking to her, and it was a humorous chat. But Sarah, it rings still in my ear. Sarah was like, my Aunt Connie said, well, she didn't really care for the taste much. And she said, just drink the blankety blank stuff. So anyways, so now she's doing well with that. So the 3-way chats, like I said, whether you do it in person, on Facebook, I've done it with Facebook. I would like to utilize that more. I see I've seen it, how it happens and how it works. So I'm not a real creative person, so I have to steal my ideas. Of course, we wouldn't call it that because Lisa's told me many times just to use it. You cut and paste. What I do like doing is I like taking somebody's idea and try to make it better. Try to do something a little different. Of course, you need to change up the pictures like we found out the hard way. So one of the things I started doing was I started putting notes on my phone right away and saving text, saving blocks of text so I could reuse them at another time, saving pictures, and saving canned responses on the phone and the laptop. I'm a strong believer in faith, so I bought my ticket to the convention knowing that if it's meant to be, I'll find a way to get there. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but I got my ticket, and I'm working on it. So I've always, whether the business that I've had before, I've always built my brand around the things that I love, which are horses. So it seemed logical when I started thinking about the launch party to do a barn party. And so I invited all my friends on Facebook to an event I created on Facebook. Hindsight, I think I should have sent out more personal invites, especially to the ones that were fence sitters. So I've kind of made notes about that. I went back and looked to see what are some things I could have done better? Haven't had a chance to talk with Lisa yet, but I'd love to hear her insight on maybe some things I could have done a little different. I had probably more things to do than I should have. Maybe should have delegated more. I caught myself cooking all the time on the grill. Maybe I should have delegated. But one thing it did do for me is it kept me from talking too much. Just too much, Plexus. It allowed me to go and dabble a little bit, talk to the people that were just kind of hanging out, and not getting too involved in a big conversation so I didn't burn up the burgers, which I managed to do a few of those anyways. And I had time to plant plenty of seeds. So I would just go over and chat a little about something and then go back. And so also, when I planned the event, we have a equestrian vaulting team, and we had our practice normally in the mornings, but we moved it to the afternoon so that all the parents would be there from the vaulting practice, and I intentionally had it later so they could stay and enjoy also. And then they helped out by bringing some items and getting plugged in, so that worked well. All in all, as far as the amount of people that came, I was surprised at the folks that did come. And that night, before some left, I had my business cards set out, and they took the cards. They went home right away and got on my website, which I found out is good and bad, because then right away they're like, oh. So it's kind of a price shock, I think, a little bit. And then one of them came right away and says, Wednesday, I'm going to order Wednesday. My husband's paycheck is there on Wednesday, so I'm gonna get in touch with you Wednesday. I'm like, great. And then the other one's like, this month is really not good for me. I won't, but I definitely want to talk to you next month. So those are two that really felt like I feel very confident that they're going to become customers. And then I had two latecomers that came, like the party was going to be over at 9:30. They showed up at 9 o'clock. They drove from somewhere in Portsmouth to come out, and just to try to pink drink, came out. And both of two out of that group also showed a great interest. And then a fifth person that's been a fence sitter for quite some time, and hopefully she'll call back. So I was surprised at how many potential customers that I was going to be able to get, and now it's in the follow-up. I've known that from talking with Lisa. I've definitely got it. I've got them on my calendar. I have a planner, and I've put their names down on the dates they said that they want to do something, and so now I've got to make sure that we get that done. And I guess that's kind of it. Do you know of anything else I need to? You have any other questions, Lisa?
I had to unmute myself. No, I think you covered everything. Does anybody have any questions for Cindy? Good. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, she covered the highlights. I have to add that she really has done everything that I asked of her. She's stepped out of many a comfort zone, and it's paying off. But her barn party was awesome. I mean, it really was. It was so laid back and so much fun, and I know you worked really hard for it, but so I'm glad you're getting the reward from it. But thank you for sharing with us, Cindy.
Thanks.
Okay, so Cindy talked a little bit about the basics, which most new people need to go through. The 5-3-1, doing your 5 outreaches, your 3 follow-ups, and your 1 training either of yourself or of one of your ambassadors every day. And she talked about the fact that it's daily or the equivalent. I'm the same way. If I can't get it done one day, I double it up the next day, but I do the equivalent weekly. So Cindy talked about the basics that we all know we have to do, the 5-3-1s, the showing up at events, being at convention, doing 3-way chats either on the phone or on private message on Facebook, of having meetings with people in coffee shops and things like that to talk to them about Plexus. And so that's kind of that general, everybody knows that kind of stuff. So tonight I thought I would take it just a little bit further than that and add on to that. Knowing that you can post on Facebook, and that's going to kind of give you your audience a little bit of an education, and it's going to get your name out there. But it's really, if you want to work the business, you have to take a step further, and that's where the 531 comes in and all the other things that Cindy's been doing. And then you have to take it even further, because eventually your cold market is going to, or your warm market is going to go cold, or at least you will feel like it is. It'll feel a little stale, if you will. And you need to be able to cast your net further. The further you get in the business, you're going to need to find more people that you can talk to Plexus about. So we mentioned this Rockstar team, and it's a brand new thing that Dawn started, and I kind of followed about a month later. And because we've never done it before, we're kind of starting from scratch. So I've been basically writing the curriculum every week and doing the training and having homeworks and things like that. And I was trying to figure out something good to work with recruiting, because that topic I think is really hard for people, because we all can talk about the products, and that's my passion. Like Dawn said, that's why I do this, because I love helping people. So talking about the products is really easy for me. Talking about the business, not so much. So I was going through YouTube videos and trying to find things that I could present to this team on how to recruit more people for your team or for your business in general. And I came across a YouTube video that and I will post it, so if you guys want to watch the authentic version, it's the Rock the Pink, Michelle and Tim Thomas. They interviewed, or they had Laura Robinson, who's a Diamond Ambassador, on their Monday night show. And she and her sister, Donna-Lee, I think is how you say her name, are both Diamond Ambassadors. And she was talking about this recruiting spree that she does. And it just was perfect. And it's perfect for a couple of reasons. It works for just about anybody. If you're brand spanking new, it helps you to get to build your network. If you've been in the business for a while and you feel like your network has gone cold, it's great for you to infuse some new blood. If you are one of those people who has a really small Facebook friends group, or you're not very social, you're kind of shy, this is a great way to build your network. Or maybe I have some people on my team who work long hours, and they don't have children, and they don't have other ways they don't have hobbies outside of the house necessarily, so they're not meeting people. So this is another really good tool for them. So it really is very helpful for just about anybody on my team. So I'm going to go through real quickly what she does. And basically, let me give you a little backstory on Laura. Laura, if you don't know her story, she was resistant to her friend for about 5 months, knowing anything about Plexus. She considers herself a pretty crunchy person, eats very organic and well, and took supplements and all of that. She's an RN nurse. She works, or an ER nurse. She's an RN. But she wasn't really interested in the health stuff that her friend was posting. So for 5 months, she watched her post about weight loss and other health benefits. But what she did have was huge student loan debt. And she was trying to figure out how she was going to pay this debt down without having to take an extra shift a month. She was already working very long hours at the hospital, and she was picking up, I think she said 2 to 3 shifts a month extra to pay down this debt. And if you're in nursing, you know that that's a huge extra commitment. So one day, her friend, about 5 months later, posted about going to the bank and cashing her check. So this was 3 years ago, when we used to get checks instead of the auto deposit. And that's what caught her attention. So Laura's pretty upfront about saying, I started for the business and fell in love with the products. Most of us, it's the other way around. What I found really interesting about her statistics was she said that she has 76 active working level 1 ambassadors. Now, she has many more level 1s that are wholesale only, that are buying the products just through the ambassador option for the wholesale pricing, but 76 are actually working the business. 50 of those she had never met, and she signed because of this recruiting method that she uses. So that's pretty impressive. The other thing I thought was interesting was she has done this method from day one. She not only did it from day one, and so when she really didn't know anybody or have a business model or a belief in the business or anything at this point, but she continued to use it for the whole 3 years as she built her business, while she was working full-time as an ER nurse, while she was pregnant, and while she had a newborn. So it's a process that's doable, which was another reason I really liked it. It's not something that's overwhelming. It may sound like it when I present it, so bear with me. And again, I'll post the link, so maybe she'll make a little bit more sense. So this is what she does. She, every 3 months, does what she calls a recruiting phase or a recruiting spree. It doesn't mean that she's not recruiting in between. She does do, obviously she reaches out in between. She talks about doing her 531 and all of the other things that we're all doing. But every 3 months she does this process. So basically what she does is she brands herself. And we all kind of go, oh, I don't know how to brand myself, because we all think about this big, huge picture of being a Target brand or being a Gap brand or something like that. And nobody can really, I always felt like I never really understood what it meant to brand myself until I heard her do this talk. And all she says it's really simple. All you're going to do, and this is what she asked of her team, is to write down 3 things that they believe describe themselves. 3 things that are relevant to them at that point. So something that you like to do, something that describes you, or things that are a part of your life at this point. So the example that she gave was, her 3 things are: she loves to travel, she's a mom, and specifically a crunchy mom, and she's an ER nurse. Okay? So she has her team do that. Once they determine what their 3 things are, or their brand, then she has them find a Facebook group for one of those brands. And what you're going to do is you're going to focus on one of those brands for a week, then you're going to go to the next brand for the next week, and then the third one for the third week. Okay, so you're only going to focus on one for each week. The first week, you're going to pick a brand. Let's say it's her travel brand. I'll use that for an example. You're going to find Facebook groups that are about travel. Before you join any of them, you're going to look at your Facebook page and you're going to make sure that it reflects what your 3 brands are, but specifically the one you're looking at that week. So you want that bio of you that's at the top of your Facebook page to say things like, I'm a crunchy mom who loves to travel and is an ER nurse part-time, or whatever, but you want it to have the word travel if that's what you're working on, if you're working on that group that week. And then you're going to post a couple of things about traveling. It might be pictures of your family on your current trip or whatever. But you want, when you go to this group and you start getting to know people, when they go to your page, you want them to see that, they have something in common with you. It's that attraction marketing thing that we talk about all the time. So you're going to find groups. You're going to find one in particular that resonates with you. The example she gave was like, there's a lot of moms groups out there, but there's many that she wouldn't join because they're not crunchy. I did that when I was young. I joined a mothering group. That's actually how I met Dawn. But I joined it because I knew that there weren't going to be ho-hos and Kool-Aid on the snack table. Moms aren't going to be screaming at their kids. It's the same kind of thing with these groups. You have to have a group that you're going to relate to because it's all about relationship building. So she finds one that she likes, and then once you find a group and you join it, you post an open-ended question. So for instance, travel group, she'll say something like, my family's going to be traveling to California this summer. Where should we go? And then people are going to start commenting. Every single person that comments gets a like on their comment and gets a comment. It could be something as simple as a smiley face. It could be something like, I never thought of that. That's a great idea. Or we have children. What are good things to do in that city for children, or whatever. But it can be as simple as you want or more detailed. But you're going to comment on every single comment that they post. Then you're going to pick a number, whatever that's comfortable for you. Her number is 10. And you're going to pick 10 people from that group, and you're going to friend them. Now, you may friend 10 people, and it may be that they don't friend you, they don't accept your friend request, and they might send you a private message and say, I don't accept friend requests from strangers, or they just might ignore it. So you may have to go back and pick another couple or whatever. But over the course of the week, earlier the better, you want to have whatever that number is for you versus 10. Once you figure out who they are, you are going to send them a friend request. And then you're going to send them a private message and say, hey, Susie, I just sent you a friend request. I just wanted to thank you for commenting on my post about traveling to California this summer. I'm really excited about adding San Diego to our trip, for example. That's it. 2 sentences. Tops, maybe even just 1. And you're going to, and the whole reason of this is they've seen you post your name when you posted the question. They answered it. They saw your name again when you liked it. They saw your name again when you commented on it. So your name is going to be familiar to them. They're going to probably go check out your page before they accept it. They're going to see that you have travel in your bio. They're going to see maybe if your page is public that you have something on your page about traveling. So they're going to say, oh, she's got a lot of things in common with me. I'm going to go ahead and accept her friend request. Then you're going to go ahead and for that week, for the rest of that week, I should say, you're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes a day, not labor intensive, guys. You're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes a day really focusing on that group page and then those 10 people. So that group page, for instance, you're going to log on. You may do it throughout the day, but a minimum of taking 5 to 10 minutes, logging on and commenting on a few people's posts, liking a few people's posts. Post something that you have to offer. You might have seen a good article that's relevant, but you're going to really focus on that group and become involved with that group. And then you're also going to spend some time on that person's page. She highly suggests that you click the follow button on their page once they send your friend request, and you can even change the setting so that you see their post first in your news feed, so that you don't have to remember to go to their feed every day, or their page every day. And so you're going to, not stalkerish, but you're going to, once a day maybe like something, maybe the next day comment on something, but you just want to kind of start developing a rapport with them. After the week is over, you're going to move on to the next group. Okay, you're not going to completely neglect the first group, but you're certainly not going to spend the time that you spent in the first week. So you go on to the next group. It might be the mom group, and you're going to post a question like, "Hey guys, I'm new to the group. How old are your children?" And somebody's going to say, "Oh my, I've got a 4-year-old boy," and you're just going to say something simple like, "Oh, I love that age," or "Oh gosh, mine's a baby. I can't wait to see what a 4-year-old is like," or whatever. And you're going to start, kind of going to their page, checking them out, figuring out who you might have things in common with, and friend request them. Still kind of giving a little bit of attention from time to time. She does that for the 3 weeks, and then at the end of the 3 weeks, she rotates them back through again. So you're going to spend a focused intent on each group twice within about a 2-month period. During that 2 months, you are posting about Plexus, but not blatant. You're not going, "Join my Plexus team." You're not putting up pictures of just ProBio 5, buy my ProBio 5 kind of thing. It's a more subtle posting during that time. It's pictures of your pink drink, you and your pink drink, saying, "Oh my gosh, long day on the road today, getting to California. So glad I had my pink drink." Or "Baby had me up all night. So glad I've got my pink drink." But it's going to be more subtle. It's not going to be openly recruiting on your Facebook page, and it's not going to be really blatant. She says that her statistics that she has kept have been that, and let me make sure I get this right. She says that first off, she's built her business with 98% of her business has been built on Facebook using this method. And that she has a 90% success rate of people asking her within 2 to 6 weeks of them friending her in this manner. Within 2 to 6 weeks, 90% of the people she friend requests ask her, "What is this Plexus stuff?" or "What's that pink drink you're posting about?" And so she's kept the statistics, and it's proven. And obviously she's gotten to diamond while she's a full-time ER nurse and a mom of a pregnant and then a mom of a newborn. So it's truly been successful. Another example she gave, and then I'll take any questions you might have, is she had an not older, I shouldn't say that because she's not really that much older than my husband, but a 60-ish woman who was getting ready to retire. And she could not figure out what her brand was. She told Laura, "I don't have a brand. And she said, "I'm sure you do. What are 3 things that are going on in your life right now?" And this lady said, "Well, retirement, menopause, and woodworking," because she had just taken up a new hobby. She said, "Great. All right, let's find a retirement group, a group on women in menopause or some kind of women health issues, and woodworking." And it was really easy. She found this retirement group, and she started posting. One of the things she says that she uses a lot of research, she uses a lot is Pinterest, because she'll find travel-related quotes or pictures that she can kind of sprinkle in between all the other posts that she does. And one of the things that they found together with this lady that she was coaching was an article from the Huffington Post about how network marketing has become a huge part of retirement life for so many people, and the benefits of it. And it was just perfect because she had just friend requested, and all these people had accepted it, and she was working with this group pretty closely. And so when she posted that for her wall or on her wall, she got a lot of people going, "Oh, this is really interesting. Oh my gosh." And then it got them thinking about this might be something they could do to supplement their retirement income. So that's kind of in a nutshell, she says it much more eloquently than I ever could. And she kind of explains and answers a few questions at the end of the video. So I will absolutely post the link at the end or onto the page, but after the meeting tonight. But if you guys have questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you guys now. You can either type them or unmute yourself. Nothing?
It was really good. I took lots of notes.
I wish I could take credit for it. Oh, her name, Laura Robinson. And and I'll post the link, but she actually the link is actually titled something about building your business with Facebook groups, I think.
Wow.
So Lisa,
yes, Amy.
you were saying that when you're doing this over the course of 6 weeks total, and you're not posting on your personal Facebook page a lot of Plexus sales posts, like the individual products. Wow, that sounds risky.
It kind of scared me a little bit at first too, but what I will say about that, Amy, is when I think back to the post that got the most response in the last 2 years that I've been doing Plexus, I did not have a canned picture of ProBio 5. I did not say join my team. It was things like me posting a picture of the heating pad and making a comment that my husband used to have to turn this on and heat it up and put my hands in it before I could use my hands every morning when I woke up. Or the gloves that I found that I used to wear to bed and had forgotten about. I didn't really mention Plexus, or maybe I mentioned my pink drink, or maybe I mentioned something more, but they were the most subtle, they were real. If I went back to them, it's amazing how many comments and likes I got on those versus ones that I've done that were specific. You're still going to do it. And it's not to say that once a week you might not do something a little bit more blatant. And she said at first it is a little scary. She actually does an hour-long training with her sister that she talks a little bit about this again. So I don't know on which of the videos she talked about this part of it. But if you Google her name, you'll find it, or YouTube search her name, you'll find it. And it's a real good hour thing that she does. During that time, she's still doing her 531. So she's still reaching out to people. She's still following up with people. She's still building her business. It's just the tone of your Facebook page is going to change just a little bit. And you can do whatever you want. This is just what's been successful for her. If that makes you uncomfortable, she said the problem with doing it, if that's the way you have your Facebook page now, the problem is that if I go to somebody's page that friended me on a travel site, and they friend request me, and I go there, and all I see is like the big cover thing is "It Works," or somebody with wraps all around them. She's like, oh, they're just going to sell me something. I'm not going to accept their friend request.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of her philosophy.
I think that, I think it's a risk that's probably good because you're just bringing more people in. And really, if you look back at those posts that we'd be avoiding, how many likes other than, my team or whoever, really not a lot of new people. And it might help us think outside of the box too for posting.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you will get more creative. And she talked about that, like figuring how you can weave Plexus products into your daily life, which we've always said is the most efficient way to get the message out. The other thing, and I just noticed, it's funny, I just thought of this, and Tiffany just said something, I think this is what she's referring to, and I almost forgot it, so thank you, Tiffany. You really do need to keep a list of who you friended with which group, almost like your Franks list, because when you're bringing all these new people in, you're going to forget, like, oh, how did I meet this person, or where do I know them from? And somebody commented once to her that she did this and forgot who the person was and messaged them and said, have you ever heard about Plexus? And it was a Plexus person. And she was like, oh, because she really had so many people on her page. So when she's doing these recruiting sprees, she has to keep really good notes, so that she makes sure that that person's in the travel group and not the mom group, and then not the ER nurse group. So it takes some logistics, and it takes some note taking. So
that's good. That's really good. I thought the key too is I like that personal message. So when they comment or you're reaching out to them in a personal message just to thank them just for that, to establish a relationship. That's really good.
She said many times that ends up being a really good back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I'll say, and then I'll zip it, is I've had 2 or 3 on my team so far start it. And then I have one lady who's not on my Rockstar team, but we do coaching calls every week. And she was one of those people who had a smaller network, really didn't have a big Facebook crew, and she has started doing this. And I think it's just opened a whole new world for her. And it's something that's exciting to her because it's things that she's really interested in. So she's meeting people, and and these people don't know her from Adam. And so she already has an authority with them because they have this thing in common. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to trust her because, oh my gosh, she's, we do the same thing and we have the same likes. And so anyway, it's been really helpful on my team so far. So I hope it is for you guys.
I love it. That's really fresh and new. I've not heard that. And it's really interesting. I'm going to definitely look into that. Thank you, Lisa. Very good.
You're welcome.
I was supposed to be in charge of the chats, and there's 10 of them, and I haven't looked. Okay, but I think it's everybody just saying good job. Yeah. So no more questions. We're good. Yeah, it's getting late, so we'll wrap it up, you guys. Oh gosh, it's 10 o'clock. All right, well, I tell you what, I won't do long time prayers since it's 10 o'clock. I just be mindful of everybody and praying. Pray for marriages this week. That's what I'm gonna pray. That be a prayer request. Pray for marriages. There's some stuff, that's always a tough one, can be, but there's some specific unspoken prayer requests in that arena. So that's what we're going to do for our team this week, is pray for that. So great job, Lisa and Cindy. Thank you so much. Next week, I'm going to be on the road traveling on Tuesday. So I'm going to be, someone else will do the team call, another team. I'm not sure who it is yet, but I will let you know. And I know it's going to be awesome, guys. All right. Love you guys. Bye.